Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of our What's Hot series, where we showcase a lot of the new stuff that's been coming out. So today we've got a nice stack of things that we want to get to, including our featured album of the week, Feral Roots, the latest release from California retro rockers Rival Sons. Now, these guys have been on quite a roll. I just want to give you the full package here. Cool little digipack. So these guys, they've got a fantastic lead singer who reminds a lot of people, including myself, of the great Paul Rodgers from Bad Company and Free fame and The Firm. The band itself pump out music that reminds of Zeppelin, that reminds of Bad Company and Free and Grand Funk Railroad. A lot of the kind of styles and flavors of the late 60s and early 70s. And this is their sixth album, in my opinion, probably their most polished, top to bottom. Great songs on here. A lot of good fuzz guitar, a lot of nice mix of acoustic guitar and electric, some smattering of keyboards here and there. Fantastic vocals. Fantastic vocals. You hear a lot about the young Greta Van Fleet these days, and good band, right? Doing kind of like the Zeppelin thing. But these guys have been around a little bit longer, and I think this album is on Atlantic Records now, and I'm hoping that this is going to be the big break for the band because these guys are so talented. Hopefully some of you got a chance to see them live, opening up for Black Sabbath a couple of years ago. They've done a lot of club tours and things like that. So they've been around, they've been active. Feral Roots, their brand new album, a must-hear, a contender for Album of the Year. Already, I know it's early, a lot of stuff coming out, but yeah, a really good kind of late 60s, early 70s flavored hard rock album, a little bit of psych, a little bit of blues, obviously, a little bit of folk, just a really, really good album. Strong songs, memorable songs, like that a lot. Next up, we're going to go over, we got a couple, actually we got a ton today from AFM Records, but they're going to be kind of split around the show here. The latest from Sweden's Evergrey, The Atlantic. So I said in my review on the website yesterday, if some of you were worried that Tom Englund was going to get distracted after joining Redemption as their new lead singer after the departure of Ray Alder, forget it. He's come back pretty quickly with the next Evergrey album. It is so good. Him and the rest of the band firing on all cylinders is just another perfect example of their brand of kind of moody and gothic and progressive metal. It touches a little bit of power metal as well. It's atmospheric. It's melodic. Tom's unmistakable vocals all over this album. A lot of great heavy riffs, great keys, ripping guitar solos. It's just dramatic. It's awesome. Really, really great songs on here. Again, if this band, in my opinion, only ever released 1 week album. I think all their other releases have been really, really strong, including this one. So this is the latest, The Atlantic on AFM Records. Seek it out immediately. Just came out like a week ago or so. Also on AFM Records, a band from the 80s, one of the kind of second or third tier thrash bands in the 80s, who had a guy on bass originally named Jason Newsted, who, of course, we know went on to Metallica and Voivod and other things. Well, these guys, and they're from Arizona, these guys have still been pumping out albums over the years, and I got to say, their last couple have been really, really strong, including this one, The End of Chaos, okay, from Flotsam and Jetsam. There's the guys in the band right there. I tell you, Eric Knudsen on vocals sounds better than ever. Okay, you got Ken Mary on drums. Ken's done a lot of stuff over the years, played with David Chastain for a while. Michael Gilbert and Steve Conley on guitars and Michael Spencer on bass. This is a great album, guys. A thrash album for 2019 that's just so melodic, ripping, heavy, fast, frantic, you name it, memorable songs, great guitar work, vocals are off the charts. You got to love it when some of these like classic thrash bands, they're not getting any younger, but like these guys and Overkill and Exodus and Metal Church are, still putting out great albums and having like that kind of late career renaissance. And, my dog is over here chewing something up. I don't know what's going on. She's got one of her toys. She went into her toy box. It's like, Daddy, I'm bored. Pay attention to me. Stop talking to the damn camera over here. Anyway, check that one out. Flotsam and Jetsam, The End of Chaos. Now we're going to go over to Frontiers Records, the latest from British hard rock act Inglourious, Ride to Nowhere. This is their third release. Good stuff. It's kind of modern, but yet it's got, you know, dips back into the old 70s Zeppelin, Scorpions, Deep Purple playbook. Fantastic vocals. I just want to get you a picture of the guys there. There they are. Yeah, just a really, really strong album. So you got Nathan James on lead vocals here. He was just absolutely fantastic. He's done some stints with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Andreas Eriksson on lead guitar. Andrew Lowe on rhythm guitar. Carlin Parkinson on bass guitar. Phil Beaver on drums. And guest on Hammond organ and piano, Tony Draper. Really, really solid album. Just a really good melodic hard rock album. Really, really strong. I like it. I probably like this one better than their second. Their first two are great. The debut was fantastic. Second one was really, really good too, but I think this one's a little bit stronger than that one. So definitely check it out. Ride to Nowhere by Inglorious. All right. Here's a band, another band from Arizona, who debuted with their debut album back in 1983, and then kind of like disappeared for quite a while, resurfaced again with another album in the early 2000s, then disappeared for a while. Now they're back once again. The band is called Ashbury. Eye of the Stygian Witches is the name of the album. Fantastic stuff. If you like vintage Wishbone Ash, got twin guitar, actually they have 3 guitar players. The singer also plays electric and acoustic guitar, but you got 2 lead guitar players as well. If you like vintage Wishbone Ash, like the Argus era, the first handful of albums, as well as classic Allman Brothers, classic The Outlaws, okay, so there's some Southern rock flavors going on here. A little bit of Zeppelin, a little bit of Blue Oyster Cult, a little bit of Sabbath crunch, okay, maybe a little Thin Lizzy in spots. It's kind of what you get here. A handful of epic tunes that have lengthy interweaving guitar solos, some stuff that borders on a little folky side, some like kind of real heavy rock tunes. Fantastic. The vocals are great. Catchy stuff. Very melodic. If you like the sound that I picked this up, and then go seek out their 1983 debut. It's fantastic also. Can't recommend this highly enough. This actually came out in, I don't know, mid-late 2018, so we actually didn't get around to it till just now. But better late than never, I say, right? Great discovery. All right, Prague legends, Focus. They're still around, still kicking butt. Focus 11 is their latest. Roger Dean artwork. Look at that. There's the guys. All right, 2 classic members, 2 other guys who've been in the band for a number of years. Fantastic. So we got Thijs van Leer, however he says his name, as always, fronting the band on piano, organ, vocals, flute, and synths. Pierre van der Linden, their classic drummer, still on board. Menno Gutjes on guitars, and Udo Panikiet on bass. It's fantastic. You know, the Focus material over the last kind of decade or so has, you know, they try to still hold on to a lot of those early prog influences, but a lot of jazz fusion stuff going on here. Really great guitar work. Keyboard work is off the charts. Very melodic songs. I dig this a lot. Probably my favorite of the more recent Focus albums, and they've all been really, really good. So this is their 11th. It's amazing. They've been around for so long. It's only their 11th studio album. Like, what the hell? But really, really good stuff. And again, I'll give you a little more Roger Dean for your buck here. Why don't we? I recommend that. Quite good. All right, let's go over. We got a bunch from the Moon June Records label here. How about the latest from guitarist, composer Dewa Budjana Mahandini? You guys have heard us talk about him quite a bit. He is a fantastic jazz fusion player. He's got some special guests on here. Jordan Rudess on keyboards from Dream Theater. Mohini Day on bass. Marco Miniman on drums. Guest guitar work and vocals from John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Guest guitar work from Mike Stern. All right. And then vocals from Somoy Pankawati. It's really good stuff. Nice mix of like Indonesian ethnic flavors as well as really, really good ripping jazz fusion. Very melodic. Fantastic guitar work. Very, very good stuff. Seek that out. Another great one to start off the year here. And another one. Moon June Records. Guitarist, composer, Stefan Thelen, Fractal Guitar. Another really, really cool release. Just savage guitar work on here. A lot of experimentation. If you love like that early, like mid-late 80s, early 90s King Crimson, a lot of, you know, interweaving parts and things like that and different types of effects used and what have you. He's joined on here by David Torn, Marcus Reuter, Henry Kaiser, John Durant, Bill Walker, Barry Cleveland, Matt Tate, Andy Papato, Benno Kaiser, and Manuel Pasquinelli. Great stuff. All lengthy tunes. I think there's 5 tracks on here. 3 of them exceed 13 minutes. Just a lot of really, loops and effects and savage and gorgeous guitar work. And man, when you got all these guitar players on here, you know it's going to be pretty damn good. So I highly recommend this one a lot. He is a guitar player not to be missed. Stefan, Thelen, fractal guitar. Check it out. All right, more from Moon June. How about Vasil Hadzimanov Band, Lines in Sand. I believe this one came out in very late 2018. Another good one. Okay, great jazz fusion. Let's see if we got the lineup here. Let me find that for you here. So Vasil is playing piano and keyboards. He's fantastic. We got Branko Tragic on guitar, Miroslav Tovirak on bass, Peda Militonovic on drums and samples, Bohan Ivkovic on percussion and vocals. We got Dean Bowman guesting on vocals. We got Rasto Abradovic on sax and Marta Hadzimanov on vocals. So a really, really fun, energetic jazz fusion romp. I think you'll dig that. And last from the Moon June records for today anyway, the latest from the duo that goes by the name of Yagull. It's called Yuna. This is basically Kana Kamitsubu on guitar. Wait, hold on, I want to make sure I get that correct here. On piano, sorry. She's the pianist. And then we got Sasha Markovic on guitar and mandolin. So it's just the 2 of them. Okay? Really gorgeous stuff. Kind of jazzy, kind of classical sounding, a little folky. Not bombastic stuff like some of the stuff we just talked about, but very kind of gentle, tranquil, really cool mood music. And very interesting, I just got to mention, they do a all-instrumental, kind of jazzy, folky, classical take on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath by Black Sabbath. Really interesting. Just piano and acoustic guitar. Pretty neat. So check that out. That's some cool stuff from the Moon June label. Leonardo and friends. All right, so let's go back to AFM Records again. So the latest from Germany's Suidakra, Simbrick Yarns. Kind of a departure for them. Mostly acoustic, all Celtic and folky stuff. All right, this band normally does like the kind of Celtic folk metal / death metal stuff. Well, this is mostly folky and Celtic, mostly acoustic instruments used. These guys use all sorts of tin whistles and acoustic guitars and mandolins and fiddles and all that kind of stuff. You do get a little bit of the clean and growling vocals, but it's all mostly, like I said, a little more acoustic-based music. Pretty fun, a little different, Next one from the band called Arion, not Arion, the Arion, Life is Not Beautiful. Symphonic power metal. Quite solid. I got a new singer in tow. Good, memorable tunes. Crunchy guitar. Little bits of keys here and there. Nice artwork. Good band. I like that one. Check that out. Next one. Brothers of Metal from Sweden. Prophecy of Ragnarok. You can imagine. Title Prophecies of Ragnarok, what this is all about, right? End of Days, Ragnarok. It's all about Viking lore and Asgardian and the mighty Thor and Odin, all that kind of stuff. So if you're a fan of the, Thor and the Marvel Universe and all that kind of stuff and want to hear about all the legends kind of behind all that crap, this is it. This is like a big band. I think there's like, 8 guys in this band, something like that. Big band metal. There they all are, right? You like your power metal, epic and bombastic, you have come to the right place. Gotta love that cover art, too. Very, very cool stuff. Last but not least, Glasgow, Scotland-based melodic metal. Melodic metal, melodic hard rock. You can call them either or. Eden's Curse, Testament, the best of Eden's Curse. So these guys have been around for a number of years, only released a handful of albums, and they've had 2 singers. So the original singer who started the band was Michael Eden, was that his name? I believe his last name was Eden. He left the band. They got a new singer in, and they've been carrying on ever since. This is basically a greatest hits of the band up to this point. So you get 1 CD of some of their best from their 5, 6 studio albums, and then you get a best of bonus tracks, bonus discs, which has all sorts of cool little oddities and things like that. So if you're new to Eden's Curse, this gives you a nice selection of some of the stuff they've done so far, some of their better songs. Solid stuff. I really like this band. A lot of memorable tunes. You know, it's not quite heavy metal. It's definitely heavier than standard hard rock, but melodic all the way. Great guitar work, fantastic vocals, memorable songs. So this is a nice 2-disc set to get if you have not yet discovered Eden's Curse. Also on the end. All right, what else we got here? From Germany, Glanville, First Blood. Really cool. This is an EP. Really cool hard rock act that love Thin Lizzy. So if you like those sweet Thin Lizzy's dueling guitar solos and harmonies, you have come to the right place. Check this out. This was a nice surprise. There's only 5 tracks on here, but it's, you know, each one is like 4 or 5 minutes long, so you get a decent amount of content here. Really fun band if you like 70s Thin Lizzy. From Spain, Prisma Circus. All right, this is Mark II, Prometheus Armageddon. We've reviewed these guys before. Really cool, like kind of psychedelic stoner hard rock band from Spain. Really cool. A lot of great wah-wah guitars and funky riffs and, you know, little bits of, like I said, stoner heavy riffs and stuff like that. Really cool album from Spain. And then last but not least, we've got a reissue from our friends over at Angel Air Records, the late, great blues guitar legend Michael Bloomfield. Okay, this is called Living in the Fast Lane. This, you know, he died in 1981, and this album came out shortly thereafter his death, and basically just kind of took a bunch of tracks that he had recorded over the prior couple of years, put them all together on a release, and you got some bonus stuff on here from Angel Air. You know, not the place to start from Michael Bloomfield, but still there's some really good guitar work on here, some really nice tunes on here. It's kind of bluesy, kind of a little bits of soul and R&B on there as well, but, you know, always the stinging guitar work of Michael stands out. So that's what we got for today. I'm actually not going to do any Forgotten Favorites today, and I'll tell you why. Because I am planning on doing a show all on Forgotten Favorites, probably sometime this week. I've gotten recently a bunch of really cool, like underground hard rock and prog stuff from like the late 60s and the 70s and early 80s. And I think I just want to do a show where I just talk about all that, right? I think because so many of you ask, we want to hear more about like these unknown bands from yesteryear. And, you know, I know you unearth a lot of them, and I have been. So I've got a bunch recently, some really cool, like, you know, hard rock, proto-metal, blues metal, psychedelic rock, you know, some prog stuff, of bands that, you know, most people have never heard of before, that I hadn't heard of before, but just recently discovered and been picking up some of this stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. So no Forgotten Favorites today. We're going to do a Forgotten Favorites later this week, all underground stuff. Hope you like that, right? What else is coming up this week? So I am working on doing a Whitesnake Top 10 Songs this week. That's coming. It's probably not going to be this week. It may not be next week, but it's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Going to do a top 10 songs of the James Gang with a special guest. All right, that's in the works. What else? God, I got so much stuff. Man, I got so much on my plate. So you'll hear it as it comes. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you go investigate all this stuff. There's reviews of everything you've heard here on the website at www.seatranquility.org. Support these musicians. Please go out and check out their stuff, whether you like streaming, downloading, or purchasing CDs. Support these bands because they're looking for your support, and there's a lot of really quality material here. So if you have any questions about any of these in particular, feel free to ask in the comments and feedback below. If you need to know where to get some of this stuff, I'll help you. Also, go to the website, read the reviews. You get a little bit more in depth. I can't, you know, just talk about each one for 5 minutes here, but go on the website, check them out, see if it's something you might be interested in. Go listen to samples. Most of these bands have, you know, Bandcamp pages and what have you, so you can go and kind of sample some of their music. So that's it. So we'll see you real soon, guys. Take care. Have a good week. Talk to you soon.